Okay, here's another little tidbit that I've picked up in the last year and a half. All these weeds back here are now pretty much uncovered by the snow. I've got a bit of a fire going now. I'm running out of paper to start fires. And so what I'm going to do is I'm picking a bunch of this dry stuff here and putting it in a tote. And I'll use this for starting fires. You gotta do it now before it all gets covered in snow again. So yeah, dry weeds are a good thing to use to start a fire. And also, totes, plastic totes are your friend. If you find yourself in my situation, and I really hope you don't, but if you are in my situation, you probably already have figured this one out anyway. And if you're not, well, if you ever are, plastic totes, these things are worth their weight in gold, I'll tell you. You can seal them up and it keeps the moisture out of things, so things don't mold on you. You can use them for things like this, for kindling and firewood and stuff. They just have so many uses. You can use them to collect water. If you need to collect rainwater, you can use them for that. They just have so many uses. Anyway, I've got a fire going now, finally, after, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours of fooling around. I've got a fire going. Like I say, it makes me nervous climbing the ladder because I do have vertigo and stuff. I could fall off it very easily, but I had to climb the ladder in order to get the pipes straightened out so that I could get a fire going. And I did, and I didn't get hurt, so that's a good thing. I'm not allowed to go to our local hospital anymore because I took really sick in the summertime and I nearly died. And my kidneys basically shut down. And I didn't pee for a good week. I didn't pee, and I was in agony. I was walking up and down the length of the field there continuously because that's all I could do to be able to stand the pain. And I finally broke down and went into the hospital, even though I'm afraid of hospitals. The first time I went into a panic and left. Even as sick as I was more afraid of the hospital than I was of what was going on with me. And then, anyway, a doctor who's a friend of the people here who let me camp here agreed to see me, and he agreed that he wouldn't treat me badly or whatever, so I went back in. But unfortunately what happened was they have mask mandates here, and I won't wear a mask under any circumstance. And I'm really not able to. I can't breathe through a mask. I have problems with my lungs. And so my lungs are badly scarred because I had pneumonia years ago that went untreated because my doctor refused to treat it. And I ended up finally finding a doctor who would treat it, but by that time my lungs were permanently damaged. And so if I try to wear a mask, my lips go numb and my fingertips do too, and I start seeing black spots, and I start getting really weak and dizzy, and it happens really quickly. So it's partially for political reasons that I won't wear one, but it's also, I do have medical reasons for it as well. I was diagnosed with an adult onset asthma after all that happened, and with scarred lungs that brought the asthma on. Anyway, bottom line is, I can't wear one, and I wouldn't wear one even if I could, because I don't believe in it. I believe that it's that there's other things going on with these masks, and so that it's really more about compliance and about them exerting power over us and so on than about health. And so for those two reasons I won't wear one. I've taken a principled stand against it, and I've also got a medical reason why I won't wear one. Anyway, they told me that I had, they refused to treat me. They told me that I was choosing to die by being non-compliant, and they threw me out of the building. And they told me that I was no longer welcome there because I had committed attempted murder by going in there with no mask on my face. And so, bottom line is, I'm not allowed to go back to the hospital. So if I fall off a ladder and break my leg, that's a death sentence for me. You know, any serious injury or anything like that is a death sentence for me. So, at this point, there's going to be no medical help for me at all if that happens. So, what it boils down to is that that just makes me even more nervous about going up on that rickety ladder. But still, it had to be done, and I did it. And it's paid off. I'm now able to have a fire again. It was a tough old go, but it looks like it's finally working. I'm finally able to have a fire. I'm going to get the water from my bags over there into my kettle so that I can well, you can see now even I'm having trouble breathing, but so that I can isn't this awful? I'm like a broken record here. So I'll have the hot water in my bed tonight to keep me warm. It's getting colder now. The wind is picking up a bit, and I can feel the temperature out here dropping. And of course, we're close to having the sun go down because it's nearly 4 o'clock. The days are a little longer right now than they were a month ago, but it's dark by 5 o'clock. 4:30 or so it gets dark. So I've got another hour or so of daylight, and that's not very long when you're dealing with a wood fire and trying to heat water up over it. So I need to get a move on. Need to get my ducks in a row. Need to get my SHIT together and so on. And I need to start boiling my water. And I also need to make my dinner. I haven't eaten yet today, so I need to eat something too. It's just with all the work that's required here and just building a fire so I can cook something. But now that I have a fire built, I can heat up my water and cook something at the same time, and that's what I'm going to do anyway. So I'll talk to y'all later. I hope you're all having a good afternoon. And yeah, I'm glad I got the stove working again. It was a tough old battle, but it's going now again. I'll go around and I'll pick more of those dry weeds while they're uncovered, because we could get a heavy snow anytime and then they'd be all covered up again, or it could rain again and then they'd be soaked. Who knows? It feels like it might snow. I can feel it in the air. When you live up here in Canada, you get that when it's going to snow. There's just a certain feeling in the air, and And anybody from Canada or from the northern United States or any place where you get snow, you know what I'm talking about. If you're from New York State or Vermont or Michigan or anywhere like that too, you know what I'm talking about. You just feel it. That's all. You just feel it in the air, and And that's how it feels right now to me. It feels like we're going to have snow. So, and with my bad lungs, I actually feel it more than I used to. It's funny how that goes. It's sort of like Grandpa's old bum toe that would ache before it rained. I guess it's sort of the same thing, I guess. I feel it in my lungs. And I'm having a little more trouble breathing than I usually have right now. That tells me that there's moisture built up in the air. And if there's moisture built up in the air, it's going to come down, either as rain or snow. And it's cold enough now, but if it comes down, it will come down as snow. Anyway, having said all that, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye for now.